Skybox here. So, what a day it was today. EA finally rewarding solo players, free 94s. We'll talk about the best one to get for you. We have some explanation for the lack of pack content today, and more talk about MUT here in a second, about and some prep for going forward at the end of the show. We'll talk about prep looking forward. So, let's talk about the glitch first that took over the world. Basically, how EA finally rewarded their solo grinders for being a dedicated bunch playing the game offline is by making what is it? It was at Road to Playoffs. If you had 145 stars, and I don't do solos. I stopped doing solos because they don't reward me enough for my time spent. They used to, they don't anymore. It's very painful. Anyways. So if you had 145 stars, basically once you got that 10K max thing, it just kept giving it to you every single time, over and over. Every single time you like went to do solo, quit out, went to solo, quit out. So it was active for like an hour and a half before it got turned off by EA. Some people made millions of coins. So shout out. I'm glad the solo grinders finally got something. You know, it's just frustrating because EA has like whittled down their existence to nil, and it's unfortunate to see EA not respect the offline grind as much as they have, and I'm glad that they finally got something. So even though it didn't help me, I knew of it, but I wasn't even close to 145 stars in my solos. I'm glad the people got theirs because they need it. That should just be a regular occurrence, is that solo grinders should get a lot of cool stuff, okay? Coin-wise, pack-wise, that stuff. So It's just like adds more fuel on a fire. Like, why is the best things in this game when EA doesn't actually intend them to be that way? Like for example, like remember like when they put practice mode in there? Like, sorry, you can't have two controllers in practice mode. And then the community found a hack around within 20 minutes of it going live, and we're like, okay, so the best part about practice mode was done on accident. You guys didn't know we could do this. So, like, and it also frustrates me, like, you know, the lack of solo rewards and stuff in their game. They got rid of the trade block because they're jerks. They've done all these things that, and it seems frustrating. They micromanage their game, and they make everything's worse. They got B&Ds. You can no longer put them in sets. And it's like, okay, and then it just blew it all in the course of 2 hours. Stop, like, just be generous overall, please. Don't make, like, you know, your mistakes the only way that like the game gets blown up and people have a lot of fun. Please, like, make the game cooler, EA. That's all I gotta say about that. So cool glitch today, W. We're hoping for more going forward. We've seen a lot of glitches this year. That was probably the first big one, I feel like, that people took advantage of and got a lot of coins in a very short amount of time. So also, one explanation, sorry for no packs today on the marketplace. I accidentally mixed up my audio tracks. I was playing Pal World on stream, so I had the audio recorded, and then unfortunately we got some copyright stuff in there, so I couldn't go live here, so apologize. Got massacred. Okay, got massacred. I did get lucky, to be fair. I did pull a limited, but from the other packs that I watched on shared plays, they didn't do so good, we'll say. Didn't do so good, so out of the special offers, I did get lucky on my second one that I pulled. Let's talk about the best 94s to choose from the playoffs. Okay, so there's this old saying, right? I'm sure they got it where you're from, but they got it in parts unknown. Wisdom of the crowd. Okay, so we're looking at playoff promos right here, and obviously your free 94 B&D that you guys get from your field pass. We'll shut off in a second here. Right here, you guys know about this playoffs objectives all the way at the far end, at the bleeding end reward. I'm not quite there yet. You get a 91 plus player, so like what, 80, 90K, or a 94 B&D playoffs player. So a lot of people take on the 94 just to add to their squad because it's about like what, 4 times the value of the 91, although coins are king always. So basically what I'm trying to say here is, let's go ahead and do this. Whenever you're trying to make a decision in game, generally the crowd, the wisdom of the crowd knows best, right? You know, obviously some people are dumb, panicky animals. That is, as we know from Men in Black. But if you just sort by price, okay? So if you look at the top price card, this is generally what the crowd thinks the best card to get is. Now, I disagree on a few of these choices up here, but I'm going to go through and show my thoughts on what you should get, my favorite ones. But Looks like the market thinks Ryan Neal, who's an old card, right? Obviously, new cards like George Kittle that came out today, yeah, that's understandable that those are a little higher. It's going to take a little bit for the wheel down, but like old cards that have been out for a while, this Ryan Neal card, 95 speed. This card has free pick artist, a great user. You can throw a mid-zone KO2 on him if you want, but pick artist is definitely the best one for him. Neal is a great card. I love this Neal. 6'3" also. One of the best choices without a doubt. I can agree he is up there, okay? And I if you choose Neal, great choice. I personally think Darius Slay would discount it deep out. Now, I don't know how tight your guys' abilities are. Darius Slay might be my choice. Now, I know a lot of people have said they've struggled with him. Slay has not made all the plays that I've wanted him to make, quite like Julius Peppers have made, Carmichael, Gronk, like those tall freaks of nature. So maybe you do want those extra 3 inches that you'd get going from 6 foot to 6'3" from Slay to Neal. But a discounted deep out. He's one of the, I think, the 3 cards in the game that gets it. And so I think that's definitely worth grabbing. And it's probably the one that I would get if I'm going to get there and then sell off my Slay that I currently have. Because that's just going to play. That is absolutely going to play. Obviously, free pick artist is going to play on your field too. All these cards are. I only get alignment, right? Alignment is good. It is great for your squad if you already have a God squad, okay? If your squad is already like 93, 94 overall, and you're like, well, I got it. Who's going to stay on my team the longest? Because oftentimes if you have a God squad and you're going to keep up with the meta, you're going to stay with a new theme team. We'll talk about the playoff theme team and what a disaster that is versus the Ghost theme team in a second. But like, if you're going to do that, okay, Zeitler's not a bad choice in that instance. Because a 94 guard is going to be on your squad a lot longer than many of those cards. Now, it's not sexy, it's not fun. I know the big guys need loving too, but it is an absolute like least enjoyable decision. But you might not even need to replace guard for even the rest of Madden then. Because like guards, they don't really matter that much. Offensive linemen matter a little bit. But with the way the game's going with the auto-activated X factors, you got a Reggie White, Matabuke. Every card in the entire game, no matter the attributes, are getting clapped, okay? So it's not a bad one, that Zeitler card right there for that. Obviously, a top-end tight end, Kittle, 94 speed, great. Pacheco, don't do a running back. We get a new great running back every week, unless you're a Chiefs lover and you love Pacheco, with the way he runs, just angry at the ground. I do not recommend the running back. So Pacheco being high is one I don't recommend getting. So that's the one where the crowd's kind of messed up. Malik Hooker, another very solid card, 6'1" on this one. I do believe it does have, 0 AP pick artist on him, 1 AP deep in. If that's a deep in that you want to get, it's good. I prefer deep out over deep in, as I feel like I struggle more to defend the sidelines than I do the middle of the field where my user can roam a little bit more. So the deep out to knock out the ball on like corner routes is very important. Creed Humphrey, Sayamalu here, more offensive linemen. We don't really talk about them. Decker, same there. The other option I think that are great, I wouldn't recommend getting a quarterback. We get like a new best quarterback every week. Obviously, Stroud's been a quarterback now for like, it's been like a week and a half. When did we get Stroud? How long ago was that? Doesn't seem like it was that long ago. Was it like only a few days? My mind's what was that? When did we get this? Last week? Yeah, anyways. Vita Vea would probably be the other choice that I would argue because of the 1 AP inside stuff and the fact that he is so thick, right? Now, he's not going to stop all of it and solve all of your problems with only 1 AP inside stuff. I like to run 2 inside stuffs. If you run a 3 down, like almost every play on the line right now, I was running dollar. So like 3 inside stuffs and then good luck running anything inside the tackles. But you generally like 1 inside stuff is like easily double teamed and taken care of. So you really want to run at least 2. But it's still not going to solve your run defense problems because there's still ways of getting around it, sadly. But Vita Vea, 347, 6'4", 82 speed is fine for how big he is. 88 acceleration is really nice to carry. So that's the other one that I'd argue would be the choice. So it's really those options, in my opinion, are the ones that you want for your free 94 B&D if you are going to go down that. Obviously, if you're a big Packers lover, Dobbs, Love right there for you. Another good one is that outside linebacker that's really fast. Position. What position was he? He was, Christian Harris. Christian Harris is the other option, just because of free lurk artist at 95 speed. So that's the other option that you have. Alert Artist user. The issue is he's only 6'1", and I still think, you know, Gronk. What is is Gronk still super expensive? Gronk, Carmichael probably still really expensive. Gronk is, yeah, I wouldn't think a lot of people would have a million coin Gronk or a. Yeah, Carmichael. Okay, Carmichael's 259, so much more reasonable for your user. I do think, you know, if you have a Carmichael card, you can argue the +2 speed is nice, but man, 6'8", he's just different out there in my opinion. So those are your options as far as what you want to get out of the 94 BND player. What we want to look forward to as far as market, I mentioned on Market Monday, really start to look at sniping 92 overalls for the 95 upgrade. Now, obviously, like we saw with this promo today, the playoff promo part 3 was very underwhelming. Not a whole lot came here that we really enjoyed, but 95, oh, strategy items are sellable. I don't know if you saw that on the last page. But, what was I going to say? 92, oh yeah, playoff promo part 3 underwhelming, so that way 91s didn't pop. They really stayed a lot of the same prices. So we saw 91 stick to about 90K. So investments did not work out, but investments will always work out. I mean, that if they were to be called investments, they'd be called sure things. The literally tits can't go up type thing. So overall, 91s, we will probably have legends here this weekend at the 91s. Probably going to set up those like legends, and then AKA Monday will be AKA 91. So if you want to grab some of them, I would expect next week for the Super Bowl promo next Thursday when that starts with Super Bowl Past is what they traditionally have called it. We will be up to 95 overalls as our champions, 96 limited, so we beat to 92s. So definitely worth taking a look at over the next few days, trying to get some 92s cheap. Looks like I'd like to see him around like 100. If you can see him around 100 and snatch, I'd like him about that spot. But again, like I said, depends on the heat they come out with Super Bowl Pass. Usually Super Bowl Pass is a lot better. I'll snatch this for 100K. I'll take that. Just the prep. But we can see the lowering these cards could go up in price going forward. That's our thought, because that means 592s for a 95. We need a 95 at 500K, which is not a bad price if they come out with the heat with Pass. That's what I want to talk about this video. LTDs, I made a note, they're still ridiculously high priced. I don't know why LTDs are so rare. It's very frustrating, but go ahead. Good luck with the market, guys, and happy maddening out there. See ya tomorrow.